Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
I get a hot tea, please.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Hope the day is a good one for you. Today here on Mornings on Main Street, I have the pleasure of introducing you to an award-winning artist. He has done some groundbreaking work. He has a heart for humanitarian efforts. In fact, he has been noted as one of the most influential photographers. He's also been featured in Rolling Stones and Time. Well, he has come up with something new, a new concept with photography. It's a portrait of you in 60 seconds. So coming up.
Well, we went all out for you this year, didn't we, little girl? Yep, we got you what you wanted with all the bells and whistles.
A brand new car?
Let's go check it out. Come on. We're here.
Oh my gosh, we're going to the garage. I got a car.
Yep, let's get in here. Let me show you what's going on.
Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Duggar, got your 18 SEER heat pump with your ultraviolet home treatment system.
I cannot believe it. Thank you.
Yes! Give the gift of clean air this year. Merry Christmas from the Busy Bee family.
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new, handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. I love this today. It is a portrait of you in 60 seconds, and doing that is Jeremy Cowart. He's the owner behind the Portrait Lab here at the factory in Franklin. Not only that, he's a world-renowned photographer. So first off, thank you for letting me sit down with you.
Of course, it's fun.
I do have to say I made a visit before this, and you let me see what it was like to do the 60-second photography session. How did you come up with this idea, and then what is it like for those coming in to have their photos done?
Yeah, it's been years of ideation and adding one idea on top of the other, and then finally I realized, like, I can do a full shoot in a minute with all different lighting, all different backdrops, where everything is changing, and it's fun. And a lot of people don't like long photo shoots, so it works out well for them too.
You've done some pretty high caliber names. You've been a photographer for quite some time now, an artist. Why do you want the general public to be able to come and experience this and have this?
There's a magic when the everyday person comes in here. When I work with celebrities and big names, like they've seen it all, done it all before, they're a little more like jaded. But when you photograph the everyday person with all this equipment, there's a magic to it, and people love it, and it's magic for me too. I get to stay in that like honeymoon phase with what I do, so it's really cool. Expression.
What is your favorite part of what you do?
Just creating. I just love to create, make art. Every day I'm always pushing the limits, trying new things, and so yeah, I love it.
Talk to us, Jeremy, about that creating and when it started and a little bit of your story. It really is an inspirational story, and you've written a book, or you're in the process of writing a book.
Published a book a few years ago, yeah. My life story, just grew up, thought I was stupid. I was like a kid who didn't think he was going to amount to anything. My parents were always encouraging me. and supporting it with like, here's your first camera, here's your art supplies, really pouring into me. And finally I started to believe that I could do hard things, and studied graphic design and illustration in college, and then years later even made a D in photography. Nearly failed photography, but years later when digital photography became a thing, I got a camera and fell in love, started photographing my friends, and then I landed an agent in Hollywood, and then I'm shooting celebrities, and it was all kind of accidental.
I was about to say, and the rest is history, isn't that the saying?
Yeah, it's been wild.
You've had to work through some pretty tough life circumstances, as many people as we do. And again, I want to say that you're an inspiration. Can you talk to us about that? Do you mind?
Yeah, I know. Like anybody, I've got my challenges. I've got a brain disease right now called Friedreich's ataxia that affects my balance. And so I'm always kind of feel like I'm in the ocean, kind of look like I'm drunk, even though I've ironically never been drunk. But yeah, it just makes me feel drifty. I've lost my mom, I've lost my brother, like I've had a lot of loss. I mean, life is hard, I've got 4 children, one of which is very, very difficult because of what happened to him before adoption. And so, yeah, I'm full of life's challenges, but keep going.
You do keep going. Is there a motto or something that you live by that really pushes you through every day, or?
There's not a motto, but I'm very driven and very curious, and I think those two are a good mix. To be curious about life, curious like what else can I try, what else can I do? This lab is a lab of curiosity, I'm tweaking things every day, and so I think if you stay curious to learning is the key thing to keep pushing yourself to try new things and learn new things. I stay in that mindset.
And it's your curiosity. It's that willingness to do whatever it is that you're thinking about that I love and that I've read about you. It's just, if you think of it and you're like, this might work, you just do it. So many of us are scared to just do it.
Yeah, I definitely just do it. I have no problem with that, but sometimes it fails, and thankfully a lot of times things work out, but I just do it. Yeah, you can't care what other people think. If you fail, they're gonna forget. Like no one's going to remember your failures. Just keep going, just keep creating, just keep trying new things.
Is there something, an idea that you've had that worked out that you're kind of surprised that turned out the way it did, or as positive as it did?
Yeah, probably Help Portrait was a thing I did here in Nashville, where we just gave photos to people in need locally. And then this is before social media. This is 2008. And so we put the word out there on blogs at the time, and word spread, and the next year it was a global movement in 50 countries, and so that's one of those that I couldn't believe spread like it did.
So tell us about your charity works and humanitarian work that you do, because you do quite a bit.
Yeah, I just love using creativity in times of need. When something bad happens, like a wildfire, an earthquake, or a tornado, how can we, of course, give money and rebuild and do all those things, but where does technology and ideation come in? How can new ideas help in times of need? And that's where I love to try to problem solve.
You did do some beautiful work with the Gatlinburg wildfires that our state experienced. What was that like for you to share those stories? Such beautiful, touching, and just momentous stories.
Yeah, it was intense. I had the idea to use a drone and a mattress to tell the different stories. So we used a drone and a stark white mattress in the middle of all these kind of burned surroundings at the time to tell individual stories, and that helped them raise a lot of money to rebuild. And thankfully the city of Gatlinburg has a permanent outdoor museum of those photos that you can walk through in Akisa, and so that was a massive honor. And so yeah, I just love to see how storytelling and photography can help in those hard times.
You know, I failed to mention that Jeremy is a Nashville native, growing up in Hendersonville, and I swear Hendersonville has produced some phenomenal artists, and the other one I'm thinking of is Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift,
You
Johnny
had the chance
Cash,
to work with her.
I did, yeah.
What was that like, and did you guys have just this common bond of being from the same area?
We did. We talked about our teachers and the school and the city, and yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, I bet that is. Okay, so back to the Portrait Lab and what you're offering, the photos in 60 seconds, and really just capturing the moments of you out there when when you come in to get that photography session done. What do they need to do to reach out to you to come and try this out?
Yeah, they just go to portraitlab.co, and there's a big book now button where they can book and come in and see me, whether it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, an hour, they can choose their time.
And can I just say it's in air conditioning and there's a roof, so again, you don't have to worry about the weather or the elements outside.
You're not dragging your children out into a field on a hot day and they're screaming and crying. It's 1 minute and ice cream next door, so yeah.
Win-win.
I know,
totally.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
My other question is, where can we follow your work and the other things that you do?
The best place to follow me is on Instagram for sure. It's just at Jeremy Cowart, and I'm on Twitter and TikTok, everywhere else as well.
You will not regret looking at the work done by Jeremy Cowart. It really is truly inspirational and just beautiful, everything that you put out. So thank you so much for your time, for sharing some of your story with us. It is an honor for me. Thank you guys for joining us, but don't go anywhere. We're not quite done. We'll be right back.
You're seeing the signs too, right?
What signs?
So, you want to be a part of the Busy Bee team, huh? Well, how do you see yourself fitting into the organization? Oh, I get it. You want to be a weather bee.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Kim and I she is getting ready to share some important tips for pedestrians out there because again, it's Christmas. We want to get out. We want to enjoy, even though the temperatures continue to drop and it's a little chilly out there, we still want to get out and stroll and maybe see those beautiful Christmas lights, but there's a lot we need to watch out for.
That's true. And we want to enjoy the lights. We want to enjoy everything at Christmas. It's so festive outside. So we don't want to stay in the house. I mean, you're talking about the Christmas lights. You can actually wear Christmas lights around your neck, and you can have those around your neck. People can see you, and that gives you some more reflective gear if you're walking across the street. So you're festive for your party, plus you can be seen.
I did actually just see that on social media the other day, for not only for you as a person, but for your pets out there as well as you're walking your dogs. You have lights and little booties for your dogs with lights on them now. There are so many things to keep you safe.
Exactly. We just need to take advantage of them.
So again, that is lighting it up. So that could be, a big a slogan for this holiday season, light it up. But by lighting it up, meaning light yourself up, making sure that you are visible to drivers out there. Because oftentimes I'll see people walking down with some dark colors, like black pants, dark colored shirts. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's a big issue too, because we have them crossing mid-block at times, and they need to be crossing at the crosswalks. Mid-block, you have no lights. So if you're wearing all dark clothing, then the motorist is not going to be able to see you. Motorist speed for the most part, and you're a pedestrian in all black clothes, you cannot be seen. The only thing I can say besides you should be walking at a crosswalk is if you don't have any reflective gear on, you can pick up your phone, which always has flashlight attached to your hand. Everybody does. And that flashlight, you're right. So you can shine that flashlight, they can at least see you there.
That is perfect. I do want to ask, especially for like downtown areas of cities like Nashville, for the homeless population out there, are there places for them to go to get either reflective gear or a light?
We have this new program called Crosswalk Talk.
Okay.
So we're going out in all of the cities and talking to people, ask them what the issues are. We're talking to pedestrians. And that is something that came up, that we could give away reflective gear or some kind of pamphlets to the unhoused. And then we're asking them what the issues are. Like, if you're not crossing at a crosswalk, why not? Is there something we can do for you, or is it you're not paying attention, or you just don't know enough information? So that's worked really well. We just started doing that.
Very nice. What else are you hearing during this conversation?
We're hearing that motorists go way too fast, and that is true. But we also have some, like sidewalks. There are places where we don't have sidewalks. So it's hard to walk on a sidewalk if there isn't one. And then there are many places, and I went someplace yesterday where there's not a crosswalk anywhere near. So I'm going to walk 50 yards down the road to a crosswalk and then cross the street and have to do the same thing coming back. So we do have some of those issues too.
So which brings us kind of to that next point of crossing with care.
Right.
When you're crossing out the crosswalks, or if there's not one, I mean, is it okay just to cross where you are if you're watching, both ways? I mean, is it okay?
I don't think it's okay. I was with people yesterday. They didn't. They crossed mid-block. I said, you are just the worst example. I am going to walk down and I'm going to walk across because that's what you're supposed to do. People crossing mid-block, I mean, it is very dangerous, but we talk about the motorists and the pedestrians. If they can make eye contact, that would be perfect, because then at least we know they see each other.
Well, and when you're at the crosswalks as well, so when you get to the crosswalk, you typically have the signal that says walk or don't walk. Make sure that you're adhering to that.
The thing is, that's true, but you have the walk, no walk, but we also have, you can turn right on red if you're a motorist, and that is the time where the pedestrian has the walk signal.
Okay.
So the motorist can turn right on red, but that's when the walker can go across. So that's a dangerous situation too. That's why I'm saying they need to pay attention to each other.
100%. I have to ask, and I don't know if you know the answer, who's at fault if something happens in that point? If you have that right to turn, but yet you still have that right to walk.
It's hard to determine that, because the police are going to come, and then there's really no way. The motorists can say, well, it was their fault, they should have been. And then the bottom line, though, is the motorists should give the pedestrian the right of way.
Okay.
That's what should happen. But again, talking about motorist versus pedestrian, the motorist is going to win, or pedestrian is going to lose, I should say.
So let's say that once again. Motorists should give the pedestrian the right of way.
Always.
Always. So keep that in mind as you're out there and we're driving, and don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of people have that it's all about me mentality. It's I'm gonna go, it's my turn. No, I have the right. No one wants to lose a loved one this time of year. No one wants to lose a loved one at any time of year.
Right.
But let's not, let's keep each other safe over this holiday season. So really take to heart things that Kim are saying on this. Okay, staying alert. How do we make sure that we're alert and aware, we're hearing, we're taking things in visually?
We need to put the technology down when we're crossing the street. I see people on their cell phones listening to music. They have the earbuds in so they can't hear motorists coming. But then I have to look at the motorists too, because they're all on their phones, and you talk about teens, they're texting, their music, they're changing their music.
If you would like to watch this show and others, be sure to download our mobile app, Main Street Media TV Mobile. You can also find our programs on streaming services that include Apple, Amazon, and Roku, as well as on YouTube, social media, and MainStreetMediaTV.com.
I'd again like to thank Jeremy for having me into his studio, the Portrait Lab at the Factory in Franklin. Also, thank you for letting me have one of your books of I'm Possible and signing it for me. You can snag this book on Amazon, or when you schedule your appointment to do your portrait of you in 60 seconds with Jeremy there at the Portrait Lab. He has these on hand for you as well. But again, you can find it at Amazon too. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on this beautiful morning. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.